Hey everyone. So we've been focusing on the breath. We've been incorporating a few different breath techniques into our asana, into our vinyasa practice. Today we're going to kind of take it one step further while hopefully maintaining the foundation that we've built up to this point. And when I say foundation of the breath, I mean when I'm not instructing you otherwise, breathing slowly in and out through the nose. So maybe it's that 5 count inhale, 5 count exhale, in and out through the nose as you're moving through your vinyasa practice. Today, I'm going to invite you to add on a layer of challenge. It's a pretty challenging breath. And that is Kapalabhati, or breath of fire. And that's a breath that, let's take a seat and practice before we get going, because we're going to put those into positions. Like, for example, we'd be in downward facing dog, and then we would practice Kapalabhati breathing. So before we get into our flow in our asana, let's try taking a seat and seeing what that feels like in the body before we add on that layer of complexity. Again, you can sit however you want. You could even lay down on the floor. You don't have to sit upright. And so the focus of this breath is on the exhalation. I don't want you to worry about the inhale at all. That's going to happen automatically. Just try trusting that it will. You can either breathe through the mouth or you can breathe through the nose. Okay, so either one, focus on the exhale through mouth or through nose. If you're utilizing the mouth, it's kind of like you're blowing out a birthday candle. So it looks and sounds like this. I'm going to put my hand on my belly so that I'm making sure that force is coming from the belly. And I just take one inhale and then like I'm blowing out a birthday candle. Again, it's happening from the belly. I'm focusing only on my exhalation. Same thing through the nose. I'm just gently sealing my lips and it looks and sounds like this. A little bit more challenging because our nasal passageway is typically much smaller than our mouth. So if you start to get anxious trying to do that exhale through the nose, let yourself breathe through your mouth on the exhalation. Try to let that inhale happen passively. That's just for Kapalabhati breathing, or in English, breath of fire. We're not going to do that the entire practice, but we will practice that in downward facing dog and high plank. Again, challenging, right? So if you need to take a knee, if you need to come down to tabletop, in either one of those shapes, try it. Try prioritizing the breath. Before we get moving, we're going to try Kapalabhati breathing for 1 minute. So get comfortable. If you're sitting upright, sit up nice and tall, shift your shoulders over your hips. Check out the neck, make sure it's relatively neutral so you're not like crunching at the back of the neck and your chin's about parallel with the floor. Relax your elbows and your arms and your fingertips. Take a deep breath in and then begin. Keep breathing. I'm just going to talk a little bit. Keep forcing that exhale through the mouth. Let the inhale come naturally. Maybe take your hand and place it on the belly to ensure that force is coming from the belly. Okay, it's not from the chest, it's not from the ribcage, but from the belly. More than halfway there. Keep going. If you need to take a beat and restart, totally okay. Just rejoin when you can. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's 1 minute. Breathe in and out through the nose now. Nice and slow. In through the nose. Out through the nose. And take one more breath here. We're going to keep our asana pretty simple so that we can continue to prioritize the breath. Let's come into tabletop, hands and knees. When we try our Kapalabhati breathing in our shapes, I'm going to set us a timer for 1 minute. You can thank me later. If you're gonna hate me now, that's totally fine. In our cat-cow, in our tabletop, let's take some cat-cow. Just start to articulate the spine. Can you get the breath moving into the belly? When I'm not instructing Kapalabhati breath, can you prioritize breathing in and out through the nose, nice and slow? And then what's slow again, you can count your inhale 5 counts, you can count your exhale 5 counts. Okay, come back to a neutral spine and tabletop. Walk your hands one hand print forward, so your wrists are forward of your shoulders. Take your knees wide, your toes touching. Send your hips back to your heels. Find a child's pose with the arms extended. Relax your forehead down towards the floor. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through your nose. Next, inhale, pull the body forward. Find that cow-like shape, or you can drop the hips forward and down. Find kind of like that lazy upward facing dog. And then all the way back to child's pose. Okay, so we'll synchronize the breath to the movement. The inhale, pull your body forward, nice and slow, in through the nose. And the exhale, pull the hips back through the nose. Try that twice more, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. One more time. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Inhale, come forward, leaving your hands where they are. Tuck your toes under, lift and hover your knees. Take a deep breath in through the nose here. And then exhaling, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Settle into your down dog. You can adjust your hands and your feet. You can start to pedal out through the legs. Bending one knee and then the other, relaxing your head. See if you can get a little bit more length throughout the back of the spine. Again, just breathing in and out through the nose right now. We're going to move through a few sun salutations. Surya Namaskar C, that's our sun salutations with lunges. And then we're going to layer on our Kapalabhati breathing. If from your downward facing dog, lift your heels, a little bend in the knees. Walk your way forward to the top of the mat. Inhale when you get there, find a halfway lift, use your core, include your back body in that, so nice and strong through the whole spine. Exhale, forward fold. This time pressing into your feet, hands to the waist, stand up nice and tall at the top of your mat. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. Inhale, let's add the arms, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold, all the way back in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips can come to the mat to help stabilize as you step that right foot back, right knee to the mat. Sweep the arms forward and up. So low lunge here. Actually take your fingertips right behind the head. Take a deep breath in, elbows wide, broaden across the rib cage and the chest. Keep your elbows bent out to the sides and then see if you can take your hands, the backs of your hands to your low back. Keep pulling the elbows back and broadening across the chest. Try that once more. Inhale, fingertips right behind the ears, elbows wide, chest broad. Keeping the bend in the elbows, backs of the hands to the low back, pulling the elbows back. Okay, and then hands forward and down, plant the palms. Step back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. Again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Right foot, step it forward. Left knee to the mat. Sweep the arms forward and up. And second round, low lunge with the fingertips right behind the ears. Elbows are wide. So if that felt a little awkward first round, you're going to do it again. It's just another chance to practice. Okay, and then as you exhale, backs of the hands to the low back, elbows like they're trying to squeeze together. They're not going to touch, it's okay. And then fingertips right behind the ears, broaden across the chest. Breathe into your rib cage. And then exhaling, hands to the low back, elbows wide. And then hands forward. And step the left foot forward so you're at the top of your mat, breathing in, halfway lift. Breathing out, forward fold. Press into your feet, hands to the waist, stand all the way up at the top of the mat. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips to the mat to help you stabilize as you step that left foot back. This time, option to leave that left knee lifted, finding a high lunge. It's just an option. Left knee can always come down. Again, fingertips right behind the ears, elbows wide. Deep breath into the rib cage. Elbows stay wide as the backs of the hands come to the low back. Okay, one more time, fingertips right behind the ears. Breathe in. Breathing out, hands to the low back. And then plant the palms at the top of the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, in and out through the nose. Right away, left foot steps forward, just simply stepping that left foot forward, making that choice to either lower that right knee or leave it lifted. Fingertips right behind the ears, elbows wide, breathing into the rib cage. Keep a nice tall spine as the back of the hands come to the low back, pulling the elbows close to one another. One more time, fingertips right behind the ears, breathing in. Breathing out, hands to the low back. And then reach the hands forward, step the right foot forward. You're coming up into a halfway lift at the top of the mat, breathing in. Breathing out, forward fold. Hands to the waist, stand all the way up. Breathing in, arms reach out and up. And then exhale the hands to the heart. Just pause here, one full breath cycle. Okay, we're going to add on our Surya Namaskar A with some standing poses. And here's your opportunity to practice Kapalabhati breathing. This is not going to be easy, so if you need to take a knee or take a break, take it easy and listen to your body. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. It's good to challenge yourself and get outside that comfort zone every once in a while. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping it back to high plank. Pause here. We're going to be here for 1 minute. I'm setting us a timer. Keep us honest. Deep breath in. Kapalabhati breathing. You're focusing on that exhale. Let that inhale come naturally. Keep going. If you need to take a moment, take a knee. Come back as soon as you can. Remember, you can breathe through the mouth or you can breathe through the nose. You can also alternate between the two, just depending on what's going to work for you. You're more than halfway through. Stay strong. Stay with it. Come back as soon as you can if you need a break. Last 10 seconds, you're almost there, so close. Keep breathing, keep struggling, keep challenging yourself. Last 3, 2, 1. Come down to the belly, all the way down to the belly. You can move through chaturanga if you want, but come down to the belly. We're going to do a few rounds of low cobra to recover. Tuck the chin, rest the forehead. Set up your hands so they're alongside the lower rib cage. Squeeze your elbows in close. Coming to the tops of the feet. Press the floor away, inhaling through the nose, lift the heart and the head. Exhale, lower the forehead back to the mat. So slow it down. In and out through the nose, breathing in. Breathing out. One more time, low cobra. Your choice. You can press up to high plank and downward facing dog, or take a beat. You can move back through child's pose. Notice the rhythm of your heart. Is it still rapidly beating in your chest? Mine is. So I'm just going to take a beat in child's pose. We've got another round of Kapalabhati breathing in our downward facing dog. Let yourself recover. 2 more breaths. Okay, so downward facing dog. Remember, you can take a knee. I'm going to set us a timer for 1 minute here. Kapalabhati breathing in downward facing dog. Focus on that exhalation. Begin. Prioritize hugging. It's like you're snapping the navel into the spine. So use the belly for this breath. That's a forceful exhale through mouth or nose. Keep your head relaxed in your down dog. Even if I stop doing this breath and I'm talking to you, it's okay. Keep going. I'm trying to motivate you and not just breathe at you through my mic, okay? We only have 10 more seconds, so not long. Here's your last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start breathing again in and out through the nose. If you need to take a knee, take a knee. Prioritize that breath in and out through the nose. Let's add on to our vinyasa. We're going to step our right foot forward and set up warrior 2. Right foot forward, warrior 2. So left foot spins back, spins flat, arms spread wide, and then shift the shoulders back over the hips so your spine is nice and tall. Just a couple times here. Fingertips right behind the ears, elbows wide, deep breath in. And then take those hands to the low back just like you did before. Press the elbows back, breathing out. And then one more time, fingertips right behind the ears. As you exhale, hands to the low back. And spread the arms wide again. Press that right leg straight. Trikonasana, right fingertips towards the right shin, block or floor. Left arm sweeps tall towards the ceiling. You can stay right here, but I'm actually going to add on some dynamic movement with this top arm. This left arm is going to sweep overhead, so breathe into that left rib cage and waist. And then as you exhale, pull that left elbow back towards the rib cage. Deep breath in, reach that left arm overhead like you're making a rainbow with the left side of your body. And then exhale, pull that left elbow back towards the rib cage. One more time here. Come all the way back through warrior 2. Big breath in. And then both hands forward, top of the mat, plant the palms, high plank. Option to move through chaturanga to the belly. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, child's pose or downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Keep it slow and steady in and out through the nose. Second side, we're just going to step that left foot forward between the hands. Spin the right foot flat, warrior 2, second side, arms wide. Settle in here to your feet. Find that stance, nice deep bend in that left knee. And then let's add on that breath. Fingertips right behind the ears, elbows wide, breathing into the rib cage. And then hands to the low back, pressing the elbows back behind you. This is your breath out. One more time here, breathing in. And then breathing out. Set up those trikonasana legs. So left leg moves towards straight, arms stretch wide, left fingertips reach forward and down towards the shin block or the floor. Right arm, just start by reaching up and overhead. And feel free to adjust the feet here if you need to. I like a shorter stance in trikonasana. Now let's add that dynamic arm with the breath. Inhale, right arm reaches overhead. It's like you're rainbowing the right side of the body. The exhale, pull that right elbow into the rib cage and continue doing that with your breath. Inhale to reach overhead. Exhale to pull that elbow back. One more time here. Inhale. Exhale. Coming all the way back through your warrior two stance. Deep breath in here. And then both hands forward and down. Plant the palms, high plank. Shift forward, chaturanga as an option. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back to that child's pose or downward facing dog. One more breath in your down dog. Inhale, lift the heels, a little bend in those knees. Start to make your way forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's layer on chair pose from the ground up. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Weight shifts back towards the heel bones, and then lift the chest and the belly. 1 minute of Kapalabhati breathing here, okay? Settling into your chair. Wherever you want your arms to be, fine, but commit to chair pose. Begin to breathe in, forcing that breath out through nose or mouth. Keep going, but maybe even take your hands to the belly and just check in with that breath being forced by snapping that navel back into the spine. You're more than halfway through. See if you can sink the hips a little bit lower in your chair pose. Maybe even try wiggling the toes. Commit to that forceful breath out. Only 10 more seconds here. Keep going. Commit to that chair pose. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, press all the way up to standing. Start to breathe in and out through your nose. Breathe in and out through your nose, nice and slow. Just breathe tall. All right, one more round through Surya Namaskar A. Gonna give you that option. Plank, Kapalabhati, downward facing dog, Kapalabhati. And then we're gonna cool it way down. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. You know what's coming. We're setting up for high plank, so get yourself there. Take a deep breath in. Begin forcing that breath out through nose or mouth. Keep going. Even if I stop talking, remember you can always take a knee. You can come to tabletop. Okay, and then resume Kapalabhati breathing as soon as you can. Even if you have to take breaks, it's okay. Just come back. Kapalabhati breathing on its own is a hard thing to do, so layering it into a shape even harder. And it's probably going to feel awkward at first. That's okay. You're almost there. Way more than halfway through. You only have 15 seconds left. Keep going. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in through the nose. Lower onto the belly. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, make your way back to either child's pose or down dog. Let's take some recovery breaths here. I'm going to challenge you with one more round of Kapalabhati breathing in our downward facing dog. That's going to be the last of that hard, challenging, out of our comfort zone work. As you're ready, finding that down dog, knowing that you can take that tabletop, setting up. In your down dog, press the floor away, relax your head, deep breath in through the nose and begin. Remember, you can always try starting with a forceful exhale through the nose and you can switch to the mouth. You can take a full inhale and exhale through the nose halfway through. And by the way, you are more than halfway through already. Keep going, recommit. Think about snapping that navel into the spine. Stay strong through the core. Don't worry about the inhale, happens automatically. Just focus on that exhalation. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through the nose. If you're still in down dog, set your knees down. We're going to come all the way onto our backs. So making your way all the way onto your back, hugging those knees into the chest. Congratulations, you made it. Hug those knees into the chest, rock a little bit side to side. Let's take both knees off to your left. Take your left hand to your outer right thigh and just give a little gentle pressure there. Start to sweep that right arm around in a circular motion. Think about deep breath in as your right arm sweeps up and overhead. Deep breath out as that right arm circles down towards the feet. One more circle all the way around, and then we'll see if we can broaden across the chest. Right arm stretching off to the right side. Pausing here, relaxing in your twist. Maybe closing the eyes down for a few moments. Take 2 more breaths. Okay, and then start to unwind out of that twist. Bring the knees back through center. If you need to adjust the hips back in line with the shoulders before you send your knees off to the right side. When your knees move off to the right side, right hand to the outer left thigh. Start to draw those circles with that left arm. You can think about breathing in as the arm reaches up and overhead. And breathing out as the arm reaches down towards the feet. So it should be a slow, slow circle. Slow, deep belly breath. One more circle all the way around. And then as you're ready, left arm sweeping off to the left, broadening across the chest. Try to keep the shoulder blades, both of them, relaxing onto the mat. Prioritizing that breath in and out through the nose. Two more breaths here. And take your time unwinding, come back through that center. If you want to take something like happy baby here as your last shape, you could do that, reaching up for the feet or back to the knees. And you can find stillness in happy baby, or sometimes it feels nice to rock that side to side. If there's any other shape you need, feel free to take it. I'm going to set us up for our final 1-minute Shavasana. Hopefully you have the time to join me. In your Shavasana, I recommend taking one hand to the rib cage, one hand to the belly, and see if you can get your breath moving slowly down into the belly and the rib cage. Now's the time to breathe in and out through the nose. Maybe you let your eyes flutter close and your jaw relax. Lengthening out on your back. Shavasana. Please feel free to stay in Shavasana longer. If you need to move on with your day, you can join me in rolling off to a side, finding fetal position for just a moment. And pressing up to a brief upright seat. We'll take about 3 breath cycles slowly in and out through the nose to close out our practice. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, deep breath in. Deep breath out. These last 2 breath cycles, maybe you count your inhale for 5 and you count your exhale for 5. Last breath here. Let's take a moment to honor our practice by bringing the hands together at the heart and bowing the chin into the chest. With reverence and gratitude for the practice, to all of our teachers, past, present, future, to the teacher within your own heart. Namaste, yogis. Curious to hear what your experience was with that breath practice. I know it's not easy, and it felt awkward to you to try that. That's normal, especially when you're trying something new. It's a challenging thing to do to add on that kind of breath, even if you're being still and in a seated position. So good work in even trying it. All right, take care of yourselves, and I hope you come back again soon.